All right, we're recording on
We
the
are
set.
recording. Boom,
Recording on the
boom.
set.
Okay.
What? Here we go. Here we go.
What? Between the sheets, what?
Oh, they freestyle too?
Between the sheets, what?
Yes,
Go ahead, get some, Eric.
No, ma'am.
So this is clear by his reaction that he has not watched any of our podcasts.
I have.
He's a guest and he hasn't even watched.
Yeah, it's like a yes and no situation.
Oh, okay.
I've
Okay.
seen it.
Yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Get him.
I work closely with Danny. That's one of my friends.
Danny.
Yes, he used to be a photographer.
Danny.
Dana.
Dana.
That's one of your close friends.
I forgot to call him
What up,
Dana.
Danny?
D-Lally. D-Lally
in the house.
D-Lally in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
he
with
said
him
that
the
you
other
were
week.
you were talking up to Josh over at Mr. Mislead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my marketing team.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how Dana got hooked up with Josh. See?
We work with the same people.
Yeah.
This
we
is
do.
this is the lady. I'm
We
telling
do.
you. She don't play.
Yeah, they
The
don't
woman
play.
is about her business.
No,
Okay.
that's for sure, for sure. Well, what's up? I'm excited that you are here. So my
Yes.
name is Leah. I
Yes.
am the host,
Yes,
and I am a
ma'am.
God-fearing, action-taking, money-making, manifesting queen.
What? Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
Miss
yes,
Leah.
yes.
And I
Nice
have
to
my
meet you.
co-host in
What?
the house.
WHITNEY period, Poos? What?
Okay. Okay. Love
And-
the energy.
Yeah, Eric, introduce
Yes.
yourself.
Okay, my name is Eric, aka Banks. I'm the owner of KUSH
Banks.
Alumni.
Banks.
That's why he
Yep.
liked it.
Yep.
See?
Yeah, see, that's why I like it. Yeah.
All right. Now it wasn't making sense at first. I was like, oh, that was just sounded cool or what?
It was a purpose.
Okay,
it was
gotcha.
purpose.
I
got
didn't
you.
say your name is Bank. I said Eric.
Eric.
So
yes.
that's why.
The government name.
Yes.
Yeah, she
Yes.
needs the money making name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta give her the money
Yes.
making name.
Yes,
That's the bank.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the banks. Go to the bank.
Yes.
Like, go to the bank. I get it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes,
yes.
So welcome. Whitney's kind of give me a little bit of background about your guys' relationship, how you
Yep.
guys kind of started working together and whatnot. So,
Oh.
yes.
What'd she say?
I just said that we worked together a couple of times from my past, of
Correct.
course.
Correct.
And just collaborating. I've also worked a couple of jobs specifically for him makeup-wise, which is my background as well. So we've been kind of working together, not consistently over, progressive periods of time, but every now and again when he needs me, he knows who to call for a makeup artist.
Correct.
He
know
knows
you can count
he
on her.
knows who to call.
Yeah, the best. You gotta know the best.
She's
sometimes.
fast. She's good. She knows her craft. She's the shit. Like,
you're
she's
so
the best
sweet.
hype man too.
Yes.
You're so sweet.
Yes.
She's the best hype
You're
man.
Yes.
so sweet. Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah.
Without the hype, I do agree.
Oh,
She does her job.
So let's get into this a little bit. So
Yes.
you're a promoter in Colorado Springs. So tell me what in the hell does a promoter do? Like, I don't really I've never been a part of the scene. I really haven't. Like, she's asked me sometimes, like, hey, would you like a, we talked to a few people in Springs, and she said,
Yeah.
Leah, I don't think you're about that life.
which is funny because we just did Leah's podcast yesterday, the second half to her story, and Leah is about that life. Like, she really is. And
Like, what? Like that was past tense.
So I think everybody have their own opinion about promoters depending on who they deal with. But far as me being the promoter and my label, it's like really like to help the people. We like seeing like customers smile and like people come together. So most of the times, pertaining whichever event you have or whichever occasion that you're throwing, our job basically is bring people there.
Yeah.
If you're selling merch or you selling product, it's to grow the sales, to grow the gross overall. With
So
the
a little bit of
company.
everything. So it's not even just
Yeah.
celebrity
Yeah,
status.
so
It
I
could
just don't
be
do celebrity things. Like I build companies, we build brands. We create companies to sell companies. Another reason why we're meeting with people
Yep.
because that's what they do. So
Right.
it's just a lot overall. It's just not stuck in the box. Most people just try to make it about the celebrities because clearly that's what we highlight to the masses of people.
right. Right.
But it's way more because it's just not like we put out a flyer or we just tell people to go there. It's like we engage with our customers.
Yeah.
We have a
No, I'm
strong
hearing that.
following support.
I hear an accent in your voice.
I'm from Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'm from
Okay.
Memphis. I'm not from
Dang, you one of them Memphis boys. Damn. Okay. All right.
yes.
Yeah.
Memphis, they don't play.
At
Not
all.
really.
They don't play.
Not
so,
really.
So well, let me. Do you mind if I take it like way back? Like what made you want to get into this type of career field?
My brother, his name is Lionheart Shamir, and then I have a cousin. His name is Killer Mike. People might know him. They was doing entertainment in Tennessee and Atlanta when I was super young. So around like 12 and 13, I was just always around like helping them do little things.
Right.
So I just used to be nosy.
Right.
But when I got like 15 and 16, I was like doing like teen events with Sean Gunn. He's one of the biggest promoters in Tennessee and Memphis. So I was doing teen events and everything was like about having fun. You know, I was meeting different artists when I was that young. So around like 18, I was just like, wait, I need to
Did you get like starstruck? Like were you like, oh my God, I love this?
Yes,
Like,
at that age, I was starstruck. It was more like I would do what it takes to be in the scene.
yeah.
Especially like, so if I had to, you know, promote, pass out flyers, if I had to do what I had to do to
Beat
be
the
in the
streets.
scene, to be with this artist at this given moment, I want to do it.
Dang,
Right.
I love that you said that. You know, I was just listening to a message this morning by Gary Vee, and he said, you know what, no matter what position that you want to get in, like he says, I don't care if you have to shine shoes.
Right.
Like if you want to go work for Mark Zuckerberg, you want to go and be in these big companies, like get in there, get your foot in the door. And so you were like, your foot in the door was like, if I got to pass out flyers, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Yes, every hot, or I can say biggest promoter that came from like Memphis, Tennessee, I've single-handedly had to work for it to get to where I'm at now.
Right.
So that's why I give like a lot of homage to like, you know, the Curtis Givens. If you look him up, he's very big in Tennessee, the Thomas Brownlees, those kind of people. When I was coming up, I had to literally learn what they were doing by following their footsteps to be able to become who I am now. So now who I am, I understand why I had to go through that process because like, you know, 5 years ago, I probably wasn't ready to do what I'm doing now.
Right.
So I appreciate the fact that I was around those kind of people that did like help me.
You got to start on your knees, not on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
correct.
gotta
And that was doing it right.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
didn't have no problem following them because they was doing it right.
Right.
So my job was just, you know, what can I soak up? What can I learn?
Right.
Yes.
What position can y'all put
Right.
me in?
Right.
So
Which,
once I
and
was
we
in the
talk
right
about that
position-
all the time. You have to surround yourself with people that are doing more than what you're doing in your current situation
Correct.
to oversee and see that change.
Bosses have to surround themselves
Yes.
with bosses.
Yes.
No matter the level of bosses,
Right.
they just have to be around bosses.
Yes.
And
And
that's what grows.
do you still have somebody like that in your corner now? Like somebody that you look up to in Springs?
Yes, is Eric Hicks. He runs 719-303 Promotions. I look up to him as like a father figure and just guiding me as a person. So not more as the promotional part, more of the making me understand like what I'm doing as a man, like how I need to carry myself, things I need to do, how I should treat people, things that I should say, shouldn't say. Just, you know, like I was coming from Tennessee, so I was coming from Memphis, like you say, it's rough. I wasn't used to a lot of things and privileged to a lot of things that when I came down here, it was like open. So I still had that Memphis attitude or, you know, everything, the struggle is all for one. I got to do what I got to do.
Right.
So basically, he just taught me like, no, it's like another world out there.
Literally another world.
You can't
out
just
here.
talk
literally
to everybody.
another world. Like literally, like, you know, like.
Do you
if
do you find that hard being in Colorado? Like since we're not like in LA and we're not like a New
Yes.
York and we're not
Yes.
any of these places, and especially for like artists and things like that, is it
Very
harder?
hard. Very.
Okay.
It's very, very harder.
How are you trying to like change that scene?
By basically giving like the customers and people what they want. So like I said, I've been doing it for a while. That's why I feel like promotions is different. So over the years, it just took me time to try to understand like, okay, what Whitney might go see or what you might go see,
Right.
depending on what I wake up and say, oh, well, you know, this would be a good thing to do in Colorado Springs.
This would be fun for me, or
Yeah, you know, it's not. So it got to be like fun for everyone,
Right.
which took a while because, you know, in Colorado Springs, you got military going in, military coming out.
Right.
1 minute I got these 500 people that I built with over these 6 months, and then they're gone. So
it's
it's
constantly
like, oh, Lord.
changing.
Yes.
Yes, but with relationships, it made it easier because now these 500 that's leaving probably know some of the people coming in.
Right.
So at this point, it's just more of relationships of who you should deal with.
Right,
Oh,
right.
if you want to go to a concert, you should go deal with them.
Right.
You know, if you want to do something that's with the urban community that's done correctly, you might want to go deal with them.
Yeah.
So
I like how you said that in the urban community. Basically, what he means is ain't no nigga shit going on. That's what he's talking about.
yes. Because most people just assume it's going to, like, so that would be irritating me because most people are going to, like, look at me or, like, certain people we deal with and assume it's going to run like that. So my job is to, like, make sure they understand that it doesn't run like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I run the same way as the company that you're trying to go work for free runs. So you should treat me the same way. So that's how we're trying to make it.
Correct.
Right now.
I think that is a huge point to make right there, because have you ever felt in this position like people will just automatically size you up?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not just, but I'm not, okay, let's just take black out of the question.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, like, so Memphis, Tennessee, like, you know, the slang, like, do you feel like you have to put on for different people, different, you know, because, listen, I think that we are, you know, Whitney said this about me just because, like, I carry myself in a very professional manner, just because of where I've come from and things like that, like where I've built, but I don't forget who I am, but I also don't need to be who that was.
Correct.
And so when I'm telling my story, she was very shocked, you know, like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this, and I can't believe you were part of that, you know, or whatnot. And it's because I put on for my clients, you know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, as well, like, I'm not going to be the fake. I'm not talking about being fake, but I'm talking about there's a professionalism, right, in everything that you do, the way you carry yourself.
Yes, correct. Everyone doesn't need to see all the turmoil you went through to get to where you're at.
Right.
So, like, no one needs to see, you know, like, why would I still be sagging down to the level I'm at compared to then? Like, you don't have to know who I'm really dealing with.
Right.
But
Right.
obviously, it's a reason I'm doing it.
Right.
So, yes, it's like you got to carry yourself away for you to be accepted.
Right.
And that's anywhere in
Right.
the world. So, it's not just Tennessee or Colorado. Like, it's like anywhere you go, honestly, people are going to judge you, like, how you carry yourself. Like, you can have $1 million, and if you're dressed like you're a thug, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's probably a thug. He don't do this and that.
Yeah.
And you might have $1 million, but if I come in here in the suit and tie,
You're gonna look at
be
me
like,
different.
oh, you know, I want to see what he do. So at the end of the day, you don't have to camouflage it, but you gotta live in the world that we're living in. Like, that's what we live in. So you gotta make it make sense, and it's not complicated. So I don't see why it's so hard.
She got to see a little bit of it, that different persona in people and how people perceive people. She took me to a photography convention in DC. And she was just like,
Oh yeah.
she asked me, she said, white is not the dominant here, is it? And I said, no, tri-state area is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Things are a little bit different over here.
Yes.
But she did also see how women or different people in that community will size somebody up in a room just based off of their appearance.
Well, her specifically.
Yes.
So let's, like, for real,
Yeah.
like, so I had asked Whitney at one point, because, you know, Whitney's light skin, beautiful, you know, and
You're so sweet.
So I was watching, you know, and so my whole question and what I was asking her when we were there is that I'm a very observative person. So I just sit back in the cut and, like, just watch, you know. And I was watching these women, black women specifically, size this woman up and down, and just kind of like, and I was like, wow, like. And so I asked her, because I didn't know if she noticed it or not, and because Whitney walks and she looks straight ahead.
Correct.
And so that was the first thing that I kind of observed about Whitney. And I understand that as a woman, that sometimes, like, even the looks feel uncomfortable, or, you know, even if you're not demanding attention, sometimes it's just on you.
Correct.
Best
And
be non-confrontational.
so she would walk and she would just look straight. She's not paying attention to anybody. And yet these women were really sizing her up. And so I asked her, I says, do you ever feel like, you know, when you're out and about, like, do you get this type of look? Like,
negative vibe.
This really, like, you know, I said, I see these women sizing her up, and just like, and she said, yeah, like, not only do they size her up, like, they're mean.
Yes.
What? Yes. Yes.
You know, mean.
And that's that nature that you're talking about, how you have to be able to carry yourself in different types of rooms around different types of people.
Yes.
You have to be able to adapt.
It's like a proving ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every move you make is like a proving ground. Like, you can imagine how many people who ask me every day, like, how do you work with that venue? How did they let you do that? They don't deal with us. It's levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, it's still levels to how you do it.
100%.
And, like, I still have to go into these venues and, like, prove to them what I can do compared to, you know, if I was just, like, example, if you take the Rick Ross show, like, if I was like an AEG or Live Nation and I posted Rick Ross, people wouldn't question, is Rick Ross coming?
Yes.
But the fact that we're doing Rick Ross, we have to get a video drop of him saying he's coming,
Just to prove,
so the masses can believe he's coming.
When you talk about would you say that
AEG?
Yeah,
and
what
Live
is that?
Nations.
Is that like another promoters or?
Yes, that's like two of the biggest promotional marketing companies for artists around the world.
Okay,
they
so it's
do,
not
the Rolling
selected to
Loud. No, it's
okay.
everybody. All kind of concerts, all ranges, rock, hip hop, country, whatever.
it's at the same platform as like Live Nation when you go to purchase
Live
your tickets.
Nation, yes, and AEG basically are the ones who bring all the artists, like all the concerts you see, all the festivals you see.
Yeah.
Those who they're the ones who present.
Is that your goal?
My goal is to be beside them, not with them.
Why is that beside them?
Why? Because I feel like I can stand with them. I don't have to stand as a team.
You want your
Right,
own.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we can build the same thing that they
Right.
built. And I just feel like no one in our community particularly has just wanted to take this step. So
Correct.
I
You're
just feel
correct.
like we can do it.
Yeah.
So the people they bring in, but I feel like I have enough resources. I have enough people. I have enough everything that we can do what they're doing. We can build the same tours. We can build the same everything.
So let's go back a little bit more. So you were in Tennessee. You had you were this youngster just kind of looking at everything and then had this desire kind of cut out like, man, I want to do this.
Yes.
And so where did that change from passing out flyers to what shifted?
I think probably when I said, when I turned 18, I just realized I had to do more providing things as a man. I was still in the streets,
yes.
but I had to figure out what I'm finna to do to make money, make capital. If I'm not a full-time college student or I don't want to go to college,
right.
What am I going to do in my life? So, but I have a high school diploma. I had a great GPA, but these were just things that I wanted to do at a young age. I just don't want to work for anyone. So I was going to go to school in my mind, and I was not going to go to school. So I went to University of Georgia for a year, and I was like, nah, I don't want to be in college.
Not for me.
But during this whole time, it's just I was always doing events. I was always marketing. People would call me to help with clubs because my closest family that I deal with every day was doing these things.
Right.
So the people I was around actively every day, they were, big promoters. They was bringing in big names. So when I turned 18, I was just like, look, I got to find out how to make this work. So I just started asking, how you make money. Most of the people I was dealing with, the Curtis Givens, the Lionhearts, Killer Mikes, they were paying me now. So now they was okay, well, cool, we can pay you for this.
Right.
So now I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Your first
I'm
big
going
payment,
there,
you're
yeah.
like, I could do this.
What? Yeah, I'm getting paid. Then I'm going in here to be with the artist. So now I'm getting all the publicity. So I'm like, yeah, you gotta think I'm 18 and I'm with the 2 Chainz already. I'm with all these people. I can bring my friends with me if I want to.
Yeah.
I'm the man.
Yeah.
Right.
Until I realized, I'm bringing you 500 people though.
Right.
That's a total different check than what you're paying me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if all these 500 people that I brought were paying me this $80 to get in here,
Yeah.
compared to you paying me $500 for a night,
Right.
that's a big difference in my pocket. So
Yes.
now I need to figure out how you're running this business.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to run this business?
Right.
What you're doing, how you get in the clubs.
And were
how
you
get in the
gathering that
venues.
information while you were just under them?
Yes,
Just
but I'm an open person.
taking
So
note?
yeah, but I'm very blunt with the people I deal with because I don't hide things. So
Yeah.
I'm telling my brothers, them y'all gotta teach me what y'all doing.
Yeah.
What club you going to? I'm gonna go with you. Are you going to a meeting? Let me ride.
Yeah.
You want me to pass out flyers? Well, you gotta tell me how much the club costs you.
You got to learn under the wings of the people already doing
Of course,
it.
I don't want to do it now because I'm not in a position to do
Right.
it now. But I need to know what you're doing. So when I do it, I don't either make the same mistakes you made or I know how to make better choices. And if you're telling me, I'm going to do it right.
Correct.
So that was the lavish part, I guess, I had with the people I was around. So once I figured that out, I was just like, I'm going to do it on my own. I started booking clubs on my own.
And still in Tennessee at this time?
Yes. My best friend name is AJ. One of my best friends named AJ. He's a native from Colorado Springs, but he moved to Tennessee. So he went to the University of Memphis. He's a graduate working on his master's and things. But when he moved down here, he met me.
Right.
And when I met him, he was doing college events. He was just working for another promoter doing college events. But at that time, I was already big in the city. I was one of the biggest promoters in Memphis that you probably could deal with at that point.
Right.
So basically, I started dealing with him. all his years in college. I was like his best friend. We went everywhere. We did everything. And, you know, one day he was just like, hey, come to Colorado with me. I think it was like 2013, 2012.
What was that conversation like? Because I know you were like, you want me to go where?
Yeah, I was
Colorado.
I was like, it is freezing. Like, why do you want me to Colorado? But he had parents and things, and he was like, okay, you know, cool. I want to go to Colorado.
Yeah.
So at this time, I had already had the label KUSH Alumni because when I built it was promotions, but we also did music and worked with artists. So I already had like the KUSH Alumni already done before I ever came to Colorado. So when I got here and realized that, oh, they working on weed being legal, they doing this, I was like, wait, hold on, I got a perfect name for this. Hold on. I fit in kind of perfect.
Yeah.
But so when I came, it was like no entertainment though. There was no life at this point. I guess I came later when like people say I came when everything was fading away.
Yes.
Like when everything was going downhill.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And when you're talking about going downhill, you're talking about like the clubs downtown, like
Yes,
just
it
the
wasn't
scene
no clubs.
in general in Colorado,
Yeah,
and
it was-
there's a stigma. I'm born and raised native, but there's always a stigma, and unfortunately, and this is a good topic for another podcast, by the way. But just the minority community in Colorado, specifically, in my opinion, Colorado Springs, anything that's for the most part minority driven does not last, and it doesn't last for some specific
when you say minority
reasons.
owned, like business owned,
Not
like,
owned. I just mean minority driven.
period.
Like
Anything minority driven almost.
I could have this conversation with you, and if people don't understand, please feel free to write and ask us questions. You can be anonymous or regular, but Mansion is a generated kind of white club. The music they play, the crowd that they get, even though it changes over time.
And then you got like Cowboys across the street, which is
exactly
white,
different
kinda,
vibe.
I mean,
correct.
You know, for the most part.
But now let's start throwing in different keys. Like Cowboys used to be the place to be on certain nights when certain DJs were there, and it created a different crowd. And then it created drama.
Right.
And then Mansion tried to do something, and that created drama. And then all these other little small clubs pop up and, give those minorities a place to go where they can hear the music that they want to hear and have the vibe that they want to have, but they never last because of a bunch of stuff. Not just one thing.
I mean, the
but
city is just ran in a certain order.
It's-
That's what you
it's-
have to learn. So, like, you'll never, like, the people who own the mansion owns probably all the nightlife venues in Colorado
Red
Springs.
Martini, Gasoline Alley,
Cowboys, Holy
Cowboys.
Cow.
It's the industry
they
is
driven
dominated.
By the same, they driven by the same
Yes.
And
founders,
it's not
basically.
minority owned.
No.
Is that
No.
correct?
And it's old money, not new money. It's very, very old money.
Correct.
So that means they're not going anywhere. And that means that, in my opinion, I'll say it. I don't care if you don't want to say it, but they're part of the good old boys club, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they're in a community where they're looking out for only each other to see them be successful. Whereas when you have a group or an entrepreneur group or other businesses come in to try to start a club, if you're not in cahoots or cool with them, it's probably not going to last.
And the way they have the business is like, it's kind of hard to compete against.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not really finna steal, like, people or crowds that are accustomed to doing the same thing for the past, like, 10, 15 years.
Have you ever desired to have a club of your own? Like
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
of course. I'm going to have one of the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I love that. I love that you're already saying that you're gonna do it. Like the power of your words, obviously.
Yeah.
Power of manifestation.
Yeah, so I was getting ready to open Southern Bougie Barbecue. It was a barbecue restaurant. I was the owner of it. I was getting ready to open it on the academy, but we had some building issues. So we're getting ready to reopen the new barbecue restaurant probably like this year or the end of this year in Colorado Springs. And I'm also currently building a multi-million-dollar studio in Denver on Broadway, which I'm the owner as well. So owning a club, yes, that's for sure
In the works.
future.
It's coming.
Yes, we're just trying to make sure the right place for it. It's just so hard out here just due to the fact of the stereotyping and how things are.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I tell people, like, I don't have the same chances that other people have. So when I go into certain endeavors and when I go into certain things in Denver, in Colorado, it has to be mass driven. So I can't drive it, like she say, just to the minority. It has to be driven for everyone.
Right.
Because if not, it only takes the
fold.
smallest thing for anyone to make it seem like, oh, this not right, or
this didn't work.
This shouldn't be here, or this not how it should be ran. You know, no matter how much money I spent. Like I've been in situations where I done spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and got treated like I spent $20 until they realize, oh, you did that. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna let my lawyer talk to you now. Have a different conversation with people, and I just feel like we really shouldn't have to do that. Like
it's even I'm privy to a situation, and we've talked about it before. I don't need to say it, but my ex opened up a nightclub, and just a specific situation as far as just getting a liquor license approved was next to impossible. Yeah. Just because of the other people in that same market in Colorado were like, no, they don't need to have that. For what?
Because the city had a vote like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And really that's because...
That's all it takes is for one person that's in that good old boys club to voice their opinion, and then they all cahoot together and they shut it down.
And honestly, and to be truthful, it had nothing even to do with her particular ex. It was the person that she chose to do the business with.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute, he's in the background. Right. He ain't even doing nothing. But just for the fact of they know the reputation of this particular person, they felt like that they don't care who he was working with. Like, if you're working with him, you're a bad guy.
Yep.
Dang.
So if you're working with him, you're a bad guy.
Guilty by association.
You should have made a better decision. So, I mean, I don't like it, but at the same time, that's one of the things Colorado taught me. Like, I need to know exactly who I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Who you getting into bed with?
From top to bottom.
Yes.
So I need to know what you did out here 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Don't tell me it don't matter, because if I take you to this meeting and one of these people look at me and say something crazy, I'm going to know it's because I brought you with me.
Exactly.
Right.
Or it's a feeling or a vibe they have about you. So out here it's like, nah, I need to know. So no, I just rather go by myself.
Now that I see you doing more, because I've been out of the loop for a while, but now that I see that you're doing more stuff in Denver,
yes.
Do you feel like it's harder in Denver or easier?
Way better.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Just the open doors, willingness?
It's not willingness. Once again, like, I'm very humble. So, like, the people that's in Denver, like Kevin Kane, 3 Deep, Swizzy, which is one of my DJs now that I deal with a lot. All these people has been running Denver before I got here. They've been doing the white parties and things like that. So I had to pay homage to them over years. And most people are not big with saying that or doing that. But
nobody wants to groom a relationship.
But most people, I had to build it. So, like, they literally had to see a lot of my work over the years to...
Check your portfolio.
Right.
Correct. To make them want to tell their supporters and followers to follow me.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what I'm doing is what they've been doing for 30 years to provide for their family. So when I'm coming in and I'm doing the same thing to provide for mine, and it's not an open lane to where you have 3,000 of these kind of people. Like, no, it's like, you probably got one president, one mayor, one chief. It's like you probably have one head promotion, especially when it's dealt with like the minority. You don't have a group because it's not big enough to have multiple, promotions or things like that. Like if I go to Texas, I can go to Dallas, I can go to Houston, I can go to Austin.
Yeah, different.
Yes. Yeah, and in these particular cities, I can go to different parts of it as well. So
and
you don't have
you could
that
actually
here.
sell it like that too. Like, hey, we're gonna bring you here, 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 and here.
Yes.
Covered.
Yeah. Like when you're in different states, you can do those things.
Yeah.
And they open longer, it's things like that. But when you're in Denver, everyone really knows everybody like the Springs. Once your name become to a certain stature, everyone knows you.
Yeah.
They know who you're dealing with. They know who, what kind of crowd follow you, what kind of money you bring in. So after a while, depending on your status, you don't really have to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Because they really know, because they really wouldn't be talking to you. Which is something I do like about Denver, because, like, if I'm sitting at this table, I don't have to worry about how these people feel about me.
I don't have
because
to keep explaining
I wouldn't be
myself.
at the table.
Exactly.
Like, it's a cutthroat out here. Like, you don't have to worry about this. You won't be here.
Right.
It's not really a guest situation. Like, nah, if you're not fit to be where you need to be, we have ways to not put you here. So I was happy it taught me that, because it did. That's what like made me know, like, oh, you got to move like this, or I'm not hiding or camouflaging who you are, but you still, you grow up, you evolve, you become a better person in general.
Yes.
So if you're becoming a better person, you're supposed to be able to move different.
Yes.
Now I'm going to dress differently. Now I'm going to think about this before I go outside, or I'm going to think about what I put on my live videos, or what I say, or what I tag or comment, because now I'm appealing to the masses.
Right.
You know, if Whitney look
Everybody's
at my Facebook
watching.
and you look at my Facebook, I don't want you to be like, oh, I don't like him because his Facebook.
Exactly.
I'd rather be like, oh, okay, cool. You know, we like him, we can vibe and make you want to look more into things. So
Right.
it
Yeah.
taught you how to be like, taught
So
me how to be a lot of
important.
subjective
Yeah.
with what I do, what I say,
Right.
who I deal with, where it's at, because it's crazy.
What are the vulnerabilities that you've seen in other businesses that you plan to attack, that you plan to be different?
A lot of businesses nowadays doesn't believe in promoters because of the internet marketing. And it's internet driven. So a lot of
The internet can do anything now.
Anything
Do you know
now.
what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's tough. I mean,
Yes.
You can even set up your promotions to do them for you in advance, and you don't even have to check in and be present anymore.
Correct.
But-
so it depends on
right.
what you're doing.
Yeah. Right.
So I feel like it depends on which business you're doing. Like, so when it comes down to the promoting like the club or the events, I feel like we're very important because you can know people and people might come, might not come, or depending on if you bring a big artist, they'll come out. But like if you know the right promoter and the right promoter is promoting certain events, you get people to spend different kinds of money. So
Yes.
I have friends who will spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on bottle service because they know me.
Right.
They trust me. Compared to if Whitney was to produce the same show, they'd be like, we'll let you know when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we, it's maybe
Right.
because of relationships.
Right.
So I feel like relationships with people and things still matter.
Yes.
And it goes a long way.
Yep.
And it's just like I say, it depends on what business you're in. But of course, if you got physical live adults, people
Yes.
marketing your brand, telling other people to go support you, telling other people to go see things about you like that, it grows your company a lot. Way more sometimes than just your online presence, like
Right.
with the SEOs and things, because
Yes.
people not interacting with you, they just
Right.
doing business with you. So at that point, you can always lose a customer.
Yeah, always.
But if you have a promoter or you build a substantial clientele base, that means over the next 1 to 5 years, I'm going to keep growing customers. My customers are going to keep supporting me no matter what changes I go through, no matter who I'm dealing with. Like if I stop, promoting big artists right now and don't do nothing to ruin my name in the meantime, I can post a party next year and it's going to sell out.
Right.
And that's that experience that we talk
Yes.
about where, I'm high on that experience list of, I'm not the best photographer in the world. Like I'm not even the best photographer in Colorado. I'm not the best photographer in Fountain, Colorado. But what people can't do is they can't replicate me.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? So like what I'm going to bring to the table is going to be completely different. And I made a post the other day that 10 times out of 10, that hard work's going to beat out talent. And then I heard another message this morning that kind of changed my view a little bit because, he was really talking about like Michael Jordan, well, if I work and I work every single day and I practice and I go in, can I beat Michael Jordan? And I was like, okay, probably not. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have that natural talent as well, but that experience that you bring is gonna, set you different from anybody else. So talk to me about the experience. So let's just say this event that you're putting on with Rick Ross. Like, what do they get to experience from the moment that they hit down with you?
Different vibes, different feels. Just overall, it's a different experience than what Denver's used to. The fashion world will start off the day, which I have 10 different designers from all different kind of backgrounds. We have over 70 models, all different kind of backgrounds. Of course, we have the best makeup artists on the
Oh,
team.
you're so sweet. Faces is gonna be beat, or somebody's gonna get yelled at. Makeup artist.
And, I know a lot of people put a lot of work and time into like Denver Fashion Week, and I just feel like there's other fashion that can be exploited the same way.
And you are coming in at a great time because
Yes.
Denver Fashion Week I love them. I'm not downplaying my community by no means. However, Denver needs a change. We need a scenery change with fashion in Denver.
Yes.
It's necessary.
Correct.
Yes.
But someone has to do it.
Yes.
And I think a reason that some things in Denver for our community don't get presented or pushed by certain people in the community because they don't feel like it's going to be put on and produced the same way as a Denver Fashion Week, which is why I say we don't really get the same opportunity. We make our opportunity. You know, like if I was there for Fashion Week and I posted I'm bringing Rick Ross and I got these many models, I wouldn't have to like deal with or reach out myself to newspapers or certain companies. They'll be at my front door.
Yeah.
Beating it down.
Yeah.
You know, but it's more like I have to go through selling myself first for you to understand how serious we are.
Yep.
And then next year, we're not going to have that problem.
Right.
You're going to be beating down our door.
Yeah.
So now we have the opportunity to give people the same treatment back that we're giving up front.
Yes.
So
So the celebrities, like, be honest, the celebrities don't care about you.
no, why would they care about me?
Right, like that's just the norm. Like they're there to
check.
do a job. Like they get there, they
Yes.
don't care about you. Their team takes care of them. This is where you go. This is what you do. This is
Yes,
you know what I mean.
they're paid to do a job.
Yes.
So when they're paid to do a job. So they don't care about nothing else that we got going on. They don't care if we sell 1 ticket or 1,000 tickets.
they're still
Right.
getting paid.
They have to get paid.
Yeah.
Has to.
Yeah.
Have to.
Right.
So there is no
Right.
there is no like gray area. They have to get paid.
Do you find that some celebrities are really difficult to work with?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, very.
Can you tell me a story about one of them? I mean, you don't have to drop names if you don't want to, but like you could. I mean, hey, our show is little right now,
Right.
so just
But people need to know
We're
because some
building.
people are real finicky.
Yeah, like if we doing recent events, we had a very difficult artist, and me personally, I wish we didn't book him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I really wish we didn't pay this man this kind of money, but we had already paid him. So you have to pay the artist like, you know, the 50% before they start
Right.
promoting and do these things. But I really wished I wouldn't have booked him, and I didn't know his attitude was that bad until I booked him.
So like, what was it? Like, what was it? Like,
I
what
mean,
did
it
this
was
one-
August Alsina. Like, I say names. Like, I'm very blunt. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about nobody jeopardizing what
Yeah.
I got going on.
Well, I
be
mean, the
honest.
truth is the truth. If you act like that, then people
Oh,
are gonna
yeah,
know.
I
Do you know what I mean? You
I
can't.
told them. See,
yeah.
I'm one of them. So I let you
Yes.
know, like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
I would
one thing that I
never-
can say about
And
him
they-
is he doesn't.
And
he
then,
doesn't
so you told him straight up.
Yeah, bro, I would never book y'all again. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the way y'all talk to my pops, like if you talk to me like that, y'all wouldn't even be talking to me.
Yeah.
So you pick who to play
Talk
with.
to him nasty.
Now you understand. I didn't even say no details, but when I say his name, if you're in the public and you're in Colorado Springs and like you mentioned Eric Hicks, like he don't even blend in with anything crazy. He's military. He's a veteran.
He's
He's
real
been there
old
for
school,
30.
real
Yeah, he's been there
sweet,
for
like-
30 years, and he like gives away things. He's been
He's
selling
the nicest
clothes.
person apart of anything. So what?
Like period. And he goes out his way to make whoever he's around
Yes.
happy. Like if he walked in and just met you, he'll go out his way to make you happy, no matter if he by himself or with his wife or woman, etc.
Regardless,
right.
He's going to do what it takes to make the room feel okay. So, you know, when you hear certain things, it's like you shouldn't even treat them like that. Like, you know, he's 60
no
something.
reason.
Like, yeah, like it's just no reason. So a lot of people are difficult, and sometimes that's why I tell people, like in guesses, like the game is so hard because we can pay an artist so much money, and if they wake up on the wrong side of the bed, we don't know what we gonna get from them when they get here. We don't know how they gonna act.
Well, and this downfall about it, which I want to talk about with you too, is then that downplayed behavior gets put off on you guys. As
Correct.
if you have a way of controlling how this
Correct.
person wakes up. And then it's, oh, we going to talk about this event, and that's not what I wanted, and I didn't want it to go this way. And I'm like,
Correct.
they can't control this person's mood.
Yes,
They can't control how this person wants to act. They're paid regardless.
correct. Which led us to, over the years, we make a very detailed contract now.
And it
Which-
says like you can't be an ass.
Well, I can't. Yeah, I can't say he can't be an ass, but
Hey, I asked because you know
like,
when I
like,
used
I don't need you to be an ass. I don't care if you're an ass or not to different people that you choose to be an ass to. I just need you to fulfill the obligations I pay you for.
right.
So if you're having a meet and greet, I need you to smile and be presentable to these people doing your meet and greet. I don't care what you do after that. Once that time is up, you can do what
What
you
if
want
they
to.
break that contract?
That's what we have lawyers for, and that's 9 times out of 10 we won't pay them.
Yeah.
So the same way we obligated to
That
do
would be
these
that other
things for
50%. Like,
artists.
hey, you didn't fulfill your contract because you were acting like a.
Yeah, like if you supposed to like if the contractual payment says you supposed to be somewhere as an artist at a certain time, you supposed to give us certain things. We have the right to not pay you.
Right.
if you don't do these certain things.
Right.
Because as an artist,
it's a contract.
as an artist, because what you're telling me is like, okay, well, I perform for 45 minutes. I want 30 bottles. I want a section. I want an all black Suburban.
I want
a
specific
private
type of
driver.
chicken wings.
You know, I want Sprite, not sparkling water. You know.
Hey, you said that one time, like right there's
Woo,
like specific.
yes,
they
wanted a
asked us
specific vehicle.
Yes,
and if you don't come with that, then they will like.
They have the if that's what's understood in the contract, they have the right to deny your service and demand their payment. So if I sign the contract with you and you tell me I want $60,000, $30,000 up front, here's my rider. I need to get picked up in the all black Suburban. Got to be a year 2020 or higher. It got to sit 6 people. I need this kind of water. I need this kind of champagne. I need this kind of bubble gum. I need Winter Fresh, not double.
Who's been the who's been the highest one that you work with? Like that asked for like various. Can you say that?
I mean, a lot of different artists have different things. Like if
anything that was like super weird, like you're like really like come on. I mean, because I've heard stuff, you know, like Mariah Carey, things like that.
Very
you know what I mean?
specific.
Like, but
yeah,
like,
I mean, like even those artists like Mariah Carey, Beyonce, like a Drake.
Drake, he bougie or what?
Yeah, like
I love Drake.
No,
Why wouldn't he be,
I love
though?
Drake.
So what y'all might consider bougie is just their standard rider for what they've been doing all their life. So let's take Rick Ross.
Yeah,
Right.
Why do you need 30 bottles and 20 all black towels? Why does the towels got to be all black?
Black
Even
towels?
though it's easy to find black towels.
towels?
Even though it's perfectly
What?
easy to find black towels. Why
it's
it
just
got to be black
specifically
towels?
like has to be black.
Yeah, it
And
has
that's
to be
in the contract.
for sure.
And that's broken. They could say you ain't getting paid.
Correct.
Dang.
It has, when we come to our table and sit down, we need to have 12 bottles of water. We need 7 Red Bulls. We need 3 bottles of Bel Air, 4 bottles of Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
Technically, like legally by contract, if one bottle, even if it's the water, is not accounted for,
Stop it.
they management can literally say you didn't abide by your contract.
Damn.
And we don't gotta pay you. So a lot of times, like the promoters are so scared of it,
Yeah.
you overdo it because you know this can happen. But in reality, like you really don't see a lot of artists doing it. But you do have situations to things that do happen that make artists feel it somewhere. Like I done had an event with an artist before that. We had that bottle service set up. The club oversold the bottles. We didn't have that particular bottle.
Yep.
And they was like upset. I only drink tequila.
So what do you do?
I don't know.
Like you lost, like you think you didn't get paid, or did
I
like
mean,
you,
no,
how do you
we
fix
already
it?
got paid, but it's like, what else can we offer you at this moment to make it okay? So at that point, it's like you just in survival mode.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I already paid you your money. You're already in the club.
So what are you doing
Now,
in that situation? Like what do you do?
You can only try to make it right.
Scramble and do
if we
whatever
don't-
you can do.
If we don't have it, what
Hope
can
a liquor store is
what can I
open.
offer you, or what can I bring you to make up for this bottle? Because at this point, if you're already in the club, that means you're paid all your money at this point. You got all your money as an artist. Before you walked into this club, if I owed you $70,000 on paper, you have collected $70,000 before you step foot into this club. So now you're paid. So my worries of paying you is done.
Right.
But if you're supposed to be in here 45 minutes and you don't get the right bottle and you only been in here 15 minutes and you get up and leave because I didn't get you the right bottle,
Damn.
now when the crowd is complaining, it is my fault. It is my
That's a
it
big
is
burden.
my job because now it wasn't done right. No matter if I was the fault or the club was the fault.
So what kind of team do you have behind you to make sure that these are successes?
Very strong.
Yeah.
Yes. The team around me now, we've been doing promotion probably collectively over about 40, 50 years with just the partners we are now. It's just 3 of us, which is the head. And under me, I just employ and work with other sub promoters to build up what they got going on and what they want to do, just like I had the chance to do. So that's what I try to build around other promoters who want to be in the spotlight but really can't do the things that's needed, but they need that to produce and to make sure they're following.
Do you, like, it sounds like you got a good heart for that, but do you, like, make it known that, like, so, and this is just being blunt, like, if I were, or a tattoo artist or anything like that, if I were to want to go to one of the best photographers in the world, let's just say, and I want to work under them, I'm going to be their bag bitch.
Yeah.
And they make it known.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to carry my bag. You're going to do any, like, do you present that? Like, look, you want to work under me, I'm going to teach you, but
you got to pay your dues.
I guess the pay your dues is automatic. I guess where I'm from, you really can't say bag bitch like that because everybody got their own lane. And I feel like certain things like that's cool when you're in that market, but I'm just more humble than it. Like, I don't need you to be my bag bitch. I need you to be the best version of you, bro, so I can show you how to succeed to keep me succeeding. So if you
not
can
everybody works like that, because when I got brought on to DFW, I was a bag bitch.
Yeah, like if you can
I had
keep
to show
succeeding,
and prove.
it helps me.
Yeah.
When a lot of people don't work like that, and like you say, what you've been through and what you go through, it make you feel that way. Like, I've been through so much as a promoter or so much stuff. Like,
you know, make sure you're on point.
Of course I'm not gonna like just meet you and put you on stage next to me.
Right.
Of course I'm not just gonna meet a DJ and give them the same exposure that I give a Swizzy who's earned his exposure over the years. So no, I don't do that. But at the same time, I don't have a reason to make the people who's dealing with me feel belittled. Like, they don't have to feel like, oh, you know, well, I'm just a worker under him. Like, nah, bro, you're own boss. Like, you don't have to work for me, bro. If you want to go do something else, go do it. Like, I'm going to support you in general. I just need you to know what you're doing for me you genuinely want to do. Because what I'm doing, this provides for my family. So I got to do it sincere and I do it correctly.
Have you had any issues in, like, any of the things that you've put on where you've had shootings, where you've had, you know, problems like that inside of the, you know, arena, the club, the concert, anything like that?
Inside.
Outside? Never inside.
To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be.
I've been watching too much Power, probably.
I just made her start watching Power. She just finished. I'm done.
The funny thing about Colorado Springs, that if that was the case, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, if I had shootings inside the club and things like that, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah. Because right away, that, like, ruins your reputation. If something like that goes down.
Yes.
Depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
Depending on, that's why I say the venue, who's doing what, who's doing what. Those things you can't control. Those
Really,
happen.
and even, and I have to say this too, is it's 10 times out of 1, and it's usually not the venue.
Correct.
And I get pissed off that people just labelize it as the venue's fault when there's so many other avenues
Elements.
that are going on in that, and it's usually security or something else. But it's never just the venue. Yeah. And I hate, that's why shit don't last in Colorado, because people label the venue and then the news jumps on it. And then it's just, this is such and such place. It happened here. Oh, I'm never going there. And then you get them trolls going on social media, and then
that's all it takes is one time, and then the military blacklists your club. So that's another problem. So, like, you know, like, I done been in the clubs to where, you know, you might have a fighting or something like that, or then when you get outside, it might be some shooting. Or I done been to clubs where people actually got shot. Yes, I've seen it. But the difference is the way the city highlights it. They highlight it like it's the worst thing in the world. But I'd be like, yo, I was just in Thirsty Perry and watched this dude get thrown out the window.
Yes.
I didn't even see this on the news one time.
Damn.
He literally got thrown out the window from the second floor.
Yes.
But at this event, they drove off the parking lot, shot in the air 2 times. Nobody got shot. And now it's the most known shooting spot in the city.
Oh, I'm not going there.
And you got to remember, I'm not just talking about these things from my events, because I just deal with a whole bunch of promoters. So I watch a whole bunch of promoters. And
you go to a lot of the events that you haven't put on.
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm to the level now.
Observing as well, too, kind of seeing how it goes.
Now we to the level that we do more concerts, more bigger events. I do more, you know, higher caliber events, like more class, more just a different realm than what I used to.
So when you talk about more class, artists like Rick Ross or like, let's just say specifically Drake or something, like, do they ever require you to have women?
The artists, no. The artists would never do that. The artists would never. But you have
it available just in case?
So you got to remember, it's just like a pack. They travel together.
Leah,
I'm curious. I watch a lot of TV. I want to know if this shit is true.
So you gotta remember, like, the artists don't just come with the artist. I'm coming with my brother. I'm coming with my cousin.
They might need
I'm
some
coming
fun.
I'm coming with security.
Yeah.
So my security is not working 24 hours a day.
all.
They need a little fun.
Yeah.
Well, people need to be
Do they
appeased.
say that to you?
Oh yeah, they do for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do. That's what I'm saying.
Like if I'm
so-
booking with a manager, he'd be like, "Hey, we coming to the city. Hey, we trying to kick it, have fun. You know,
Right.
set us up."
And you
something."
got to have a high class, like,
Just what they want, honestly.
so they're specific that way too. Okay.
They're men. Women are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
women are. So it just, have to be right. Like, you more inclined to go to a Drake room, huh, than a Rick Ross room?
Yes.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And at that point, the money don't matter, huh? They're both rich.
That's terrible. But I told
if you could just give
I
me
told you
clothes.
about my experience, and I'm not gonna say her name, but when I seen that Lil Fizz was gonna be at the social, I was like, I don't give a shit if we're divorced. I'm putting on for my friend, and she's gonna meet him tonight. And I wish somebody would tell me.
Yeah.
No, I cannot go
Well,
back
like
in that
I already
green room.
know, like if you
I
bring
was like,
Trey,
I'm going back in there. I painted those floors and I painted the walls and I helped put that frame up. So I'm going back there. Not for me, but for her. She needs, yes.
Yeah, she needs to.
if you bring Trey songs like that's, she's.
Oh my God.
It's over for Whitney.
Oh, that's
It's
Like,
over.
that's
yeah,
a wrap.
she's.
Hey, I don't even have to sign a contract. He can just have a great time with me. I'm not going to say nothing at the end of the day.
He already fighting allegations.
I don't care. He can allegate all
She
against
was
me.
You don't care what he going
I
through?
don't care what he's going through. He can rest his head on my chest. We can have a great time.
You see how picky I was?
I just want to meet,
Can Rick Ross feed you some chicken?
God.
Not, no. No.
Is that a thing?
Chicken. No.
He can feed you chicken and give you a bottle
I
of his Bel Air.
cannot.
Amazing.
No, I'm good. I will be backstage with cleaning my makeup brushes. That's where I will be at.
It's okay. It's okay. You can't treat him like that.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So did you bring anybody on from Tennessee with you over here? Did you once you started getting like your feet in deep? Did you put on anybody? Say, hey, come up over here, or they're like, nah, we like it over here.
I asked them, but it's they closed in.
Yeah.
It's the reverse.
Yeah.
Like they're not really comfortable with leaving where they're from, where
Yeah.
they're home. Like this is foreign. Like this was foreign to me. Mm-hmm. Like
Colorado
the
is
way Colorado
different.
Springs are in Denver, and people
Yeah.
like it was like foreign land to me. Like I was like, oh my god, like, all right, y'all do that.
People are rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of just things like I had never seen like I had never seen this snowing Christmas a day in my life until I moved out here.
Yeah.
Like I used to believe certain things are fake. Like, man,
That only happened.
yeah. Like, why do they keep making commercials with things that don't really happen? And then when I moved out here, I was like, oh, they do that.
Who is like on your list? Like you is a goal for you to bring on? Like it's like this is gonna happen eventually. This is what I want.
That's a good question.
Truthfully, no one. And I don't say it to be cocky. It's just the fact that I can reach anybody I want. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've worked a lot of famous people.
Can you bring
right now.
Can you bring the Sons of Anarchy team back
I'm
over here?
done.
Like, could you
Yes,
make that happen? And if you could give me VIP with Jax, then I will pay whatever I need to pay.
You are choosy today.
Just
Hey,
saying.
Jack's my man, though. I love Sons of Anarchy. You feel
But
me?
I do.
Like,
That's a good question.
I need
and
to have a different kind of business meeting with Jack. You know what I'm saying?
I'm curious to know, like, what's your next goal with your business? Like, what is your next, like, big step? Like, I know you talked about the businesses that you're opening, that sort of thing, but I mean, she presses on us all the time over here about we need to be set on our goals, making sure we're progressing, moving forward.
Correct.
So what is your next big goal?
My next big goal is to just have the consistency of big artists for Denver.
Okay.
So, like, after Rick Ross, I have another artist I want to drop. And now,
Right.
since I know that you'll lose your mind, I'm going to send you the bottle price.
Please don't.
$29.
Please don't.
So-
I'm not doing this.
So, And which is funny is
market research.
so I have that together for you with the prices.
I'm
and all,
done.
You know. Or maybe I send it to her for her to surprise you. Either or, I'm pretty sure this will work fine. But it's just
You need to pin me out as a photographer. What?
Yeah, that's fine. Look, check this out.
It depends on who it is. Okay.
Hey, okay. I mean, if y'all don't care about the allegations, y'all okay?
I really don't give a shit.
Well, Jax was my freebie, so my husband said that was
That's
my
your
freebie.
pass. That's your hall pass.
Jack-
Okay.
He can't go back on
Jax
it
the
now.
freebie?
Yeah.
Who's your free? Who?
No, that's not my husband.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
That's Chris. That's our
Oh,
tech
it's
guy.
Chris. Okay, cool.
That's our tech guy.
If y'all
No,
mind me
Nando is.
Who's the husband favorite? If you get one, he get one. So
Selma.
Who you
Selma.
Really?
There's one. Jennifer Aniston's another. He got like 3 of them. So how did that work out? How's he got
You
3
need
and
to
I
fix
got
your
like
hall
1?
pass
Hey,
list.
Yeah, right?
No, it's just the men thing. Y'all know how this works. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I can have several.
No,
What's
no.
good for the goose is good for the fucking gander. I'm having some fun.
In certain aspects.
Nope. Nope.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I don't know where we're going right now with this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same.
But no, I'm proud. I'm glad that you're on here. Talk to us a little bit. I know we got off topic a little bit, but we were talking about the experience with the show that's getting ready to come up. So guests are coming in. There's experience in the fashion show. What happens? You know, what's the layout with the fashion show?
So it'll be a high-rise stage, so it's not floor staging. So
Thank you, Jesus.
So a couple of fashion shows we've been to is a lot of floor staging.
Can't really see.
Correct. This one is high-rise stage. So we have high-top tables and we have low-top tables. The ambiance will be crazy. Design, the whole building, the logos of the brands.
So
the
this is a venue that you chose, or did you get a building and like are designing it out?
This a venue that we chose that was already made.
So
it's
I have a
called
question.
Real Works. It's next to Tracks.
Did
Shout out Real Works.
did the name change, or is it the Exto Center?
It used to be the
It
Expo
used
Center.
to be the Expo
So
Center.
they
Okay.
rechanged
Okay.
it and did some things.
Okay,
and then
perfect.
it's called Real Works.
Okay, cool.
And it's right next to Tracks. Tracks is one of like the probably most known.
It's the best gay club in Denver.
ever. So it's like right next door to them. But the space is amazing now, and it holds up to like 3,000.
They remodeled it.
Of course.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's remodeled, rebuilt out.
Yeah.
So
And how long is it? Does Rick Ross just come in for that portion, or does he stick around for anything else? Is that
so all that depends on his vibes, his team. Like long as he in there for the scheduled contract, so he's performing a full concert. So long as he performing for 45 minutes to an hour, I don't care what he do. He can
What about
stay.
pictures and stuff for you, so that like you can continuously put out your marketing and things like that? Like, do you count on that, or do you?
No, I don't count on it, but that's very important. If an artist is willing to do meet and greet, we do pictures and things like that. But a lot of artists discontinued the meet and greets due to COVID and just certain things going on.
Sure.
But that's always a promotion, of course. If everybody can post a picture with the celebrity,
Right.
It's just that trying to groom the city into what really needs to be done because of the cost of it. So like they're not going to do it for free, and most people just
Exactly.
feel like these things are what artists should do. But in reality, like we pay these people to do these things.
Right.
So when he go take pictures, like it seems
Do
crazy.
you make
that
sure
we'll
you
be
get
charging.
yours first in line? Like, hey,
No,
No?
I don't care.
No.
Nah, my name on the contract. I don't care.
So like, what you care about is that because you're putting it on, you just show that you put it on. You don't have to have a picture with a celebrity to.
Nah, I care about the overall event success. I care about how happy everybody is who came to this event. So no matter if I take a picture with Ross or not, I just
Right.
care about, did you have a great time? Was the service fast? Did the bar move quick enough? Did your bottles take too long? Can we do anything to better it compared to, oh, you got to do this with Rick Ross and do this and do that? Because at the end of the day, Rick Ross is one artist.
Right.
So he has to go. But I have to stay here.
Right.
So if I have to stay here, I got to make sure people continue
is,
to
yeah.
support what's going on. Not the fact that I'm supporting because it's Rick Ross or is
Because if anything does go wrong, it's not gonna be Rick Ross. It's gonna be you.
Correct. So those are things that we focus on preventing. Is everybody okay? Everybody in a good place? Is the security right? Is the staff ran perfectly? Is everybody getting accommodated for what they paid for? If you bought this ticket, did you get what you supposed to get?
Do you feel like the thing that happened with the gentleman what's his name? The promotion where the people died.
At Beta, at Kevin?
You're talking about. No, you're talking about the big stuff.
Yeah.
She's
The
talking
big,
about
big,
Travis.
big.
She's talking about
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Oh, Travis Scott.
Do you feel like the promoter should have been responsible for any of that stuff?
The promoter. It depends on who made the contracts.
Yeah.
See, I'm a promoter, but I control our business, so I do our contracts.
You subcontract to security, you subcontract out to this,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So depending on if the promoter subcontract these people or who I'm working for is supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. So for like example, when we bring in Rick Ross, when you go into the venue lets you know what they can provide and what they can't. Mm-hmm. So if the venue is telling me they're going to provide the security
For the inside.
they're going to provide security, period.
Mm-hmm. They do in the outside too?
Period. See, you got to remember, that's in our demographic that most people think about the outside.
Right.
Other minorities don't think about that.
Correct.
So that's not really some people focus on.
That's true.
Unless you're bringing in
I didn't think about it like that.
So when they say they got security, cool. Okay, are y'all going to check everybody? We have everybody that's coming into this venue. The club will be in control because we want to know what come in. Okay, cool. So if they come into this venue and it's a shooting, no, it's not on the promoter. It's on the club because the club said they are in control of security. But to the masses, you would never know that.
Right.
Unless you're in the back end of the business.
Right.
So to the masses, it'll be, he don't let them people in there with guns. They just don't care how people get treated. And we like, what are you talking about?
Right.
That wasn't even our job.
Right.
Like, we paid to use the
Have this
venue
covered.
for what we
Right.
use it for. And yes, we do carry, $1 million insurance policies and things. But if we're paying the venue for these services and these things happen, this is not our fault.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't have time to sit down with you and 100 other million podcasts and news and explain this to you. Because the people who spent their money or the people who lost their lives don't want to hear that.
At all.
They don't care about what I'm saying. Besides that, I'm never going to his thing again.
Right.
And you like, man, nothing. It could have been, no offense, we could be doing an all black party playing all urban music. It can literally be a white guy and the Mexican guy walk in and shoot up the party.
Right.
And now I did this?
Yes.
Right.
How? That don't even make sense.
Right.
But to the general public, the only thing that matters is what happened, and it shouldn't have happened because that's how they feel.
Yep.
This doesn't happen every day.
Right.
It doesn't happen in our community or on this street or in this area consistently. So once it happened, it shouldn't have happened, period.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now it's the fault of when you bring people together or bring in these many people. And as a promoter, you telling them like, bro, if I bring 2,000 people, you really feel that I can control and I know how 2,000 people are thinking?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Or can control what's going on in the crowd.
It's crazy. I mean, because you got to think legally. You think legally, even with state laws, it's like one security per 100 people.
Yes.
So if you even like do the math, like, oh, okay, 500 people, 5 security. Have you seen 4 people fight before?
Right. The biggest venue that I've ever
I'm just wondering, like, have you seen 4 people fight before? 4 on 4.
The biggest venue that I've been to, and I finally understood it, was the Made in America Festival. The main stage crowd was so huge.
Yes.
That there were so many people in towards the middle of it. And don't get me wrong, they had security guards up on pillars and, people without in the crowd. But I mean, you can't control if somebody decides to do drugs and pass out. Right. They were literally picking people up in the air and holding them up in the air for security to get to them.
Yes.
And to get to them took like 25, 30 minutes.
Wow.
Because of how many people were jam-packed in one area. You can't control that.
Right.
Yes.
You can't. And I feel like shows like that, you enter at your own risk. If you are on drugs and dehydrated, you don't need to be in the middle before the main event comes on. It's just not smart.
Yeah, in the Travis Scott situation, it was bad that it happened and got publicized like that. But they all know how many rock concerts they had mosh pits with people.
What about
dying,
Woodstock?
or people getting stumped before it. Like, people don't talk about it because that's what I say. Like,
Goes back to the whole,
you just don't witness it. Like, our community didn't make up mosh pitting and people jumping and doing that like that. Like, that came from heavy rock metal, heavy band music.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where that count came from.
Right.
And do you know how many people done lost their lives or jumped off stage, broke their neck, or been trampled or been stumped on in them kind of concerts? No, we don't know.
And
because we don't draw attention to that.
It's also that shit was going on back when there was not social media and everybody having access to recording something on their phone and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to think like.
Could you imagine if what's his name? Ozzy Osbourne, if the internet and the camera phones were around when that man bit that head off that bat on stage?
Ooh-wee.
Could you imagine?
That's what I'm saying.
It would be completely different.
But it still happens now because you got to think like, you can have like rappers that do certain things to their fans. Like for instance, you have like the baby or something that you know
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful, or like he might just be like, or like you have a Kevin Gates situation, like she was grabbing me and I moved her hand out the way,
Mushed
like
her.
she don't need to grab me. But you turn around and you watch a concert, a rock concert or a country concert, and this lady literally peed on her fan on stage. We don't hear nothing about that.
Damn. I didn't hear nothing about
Literally
that.
pulled down her pants and
Who
peed
did?
on her fan.
Who did it? I did not hear about it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I'll send you the ad.
Damn, that's crazy. Well, tell us though. So we got to close this out. So
Right.
tell us, is your event sold out?
The bottle sections and tables are sold out, but
Okay.
tickets still are for sale.
Okay, and where do they get those at?
www.kushalumni.com.
Okay.
It'll take you to our website.
Okay.
You can purchase all the tickets, and you also can see like other events we do, other things we own. We also are owners of Trap and Paint event,
Yes.
Which is very popular now.
I think you were telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
What
most
is that?
popular.
What is that?
It's like an ultimate painting experience. It's really, we call it like the ultimate ladies' night out.
Okay.
Because most women to be attracted to it. It's unlimited wine. We do unlimited mimosa. We provide a painting canvas, the paint, the supplies, the aprons, and
Is
basically
Denver or Springs?
both.
Okay.
We do them in both.
Okay.
So basically, if you come, you buy a $50 ticket. We have like 5-star catered food. It'd be different foods depending on which kind of event we do.
Okay.
But you get to eat. We provide all the painting stuff. The canvas is take home. And it's just crazy. Like unlimited wine, the whole 2 hours and a half.
But it's the music and the vibe. that
unlimited
makes it-
mimosas. Yeah, you playing music. We have a great host. Art by Rizzo. She's a great host. So she interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
She literally teaches you step by step how to paint whatever you're creating. If you want to make something different, you
I
can.
love that.
Yeah,
It's fun.
But
So where
like
is
if you're
this
with your
at?
homegirls, we do it at different locations.
Okay.
because
Just people
we
that
can
like
move
open it up or something.
Yeah. And basically it sells out every event. So basically it's one of them, when we want to do it, we just drop it and typically it sells out because it's just the ultimate vibe.
Yeah.
Like if you had your homegirls, that's like the ultimate vibe
Right.
to do. Because you still can dance, you can have fun, you still can drink, you still can paint, and you
Right.
get to take it home with you.
Yes.
It's not, overbearing. It's not, heavy. It's like just right for women.
And that's on the website too, so they can
Yes.
find that. They can purchase tickets, or like there has to be a
Yes.
certain amount of like.
Yeah, so our website, it updates daily, depending on the events we have. So long as you have the website, you're able to go on there, look at different things. But once you log in and we know you're on the website, we'll be able to personally reach back out to you due to our new friends that we have. So with our landing page, we're able to just reach back out to these customers now, even if you're just viewing the page.
Yes. Right.
And it'll keep you updated. We'll let you know when we drop a new event. We're trying to do things like once a month, different aspects, different events, different things. Because I know y'all was like, what's my next big goal? So how we're doing a fashion show with Rick Ross. My next thing is like this hair expo. I gathered the
you so smart. Oh, you're so smart. Goodness gracious.
So I gathered the information a long time ago because I like travel. My mama took me to Atlanta. But my wife, she's like into hair. And that's like, she just be talking about hair. And I just be like, well, out here, you have to make the scene draw attention to it for it to make sense.
It's an open market, though.
So
Yes.
just like the fashion show we're doing, I'm in the process of figuring out how to create this perfect hair expo. Like, I just want it to be different. Like, live hairstylists, you know, things that when you go to other states, you see this, which makes you want to go there.
Right.
You know, like I want to travel on this weekend at
Yes.
this particular state, country, wherever you're going.
Right.
Because you know the activities you're trying to go be a part of.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to
Bringing it
build in Denver. Like when
Putting it on
rappers
the
talk,
map,
right?
So when rappers talk about it, when hosts other podcasts, they say like, "Hey, look, have y'all been to the Life of Fashion show? You know it's every year. Like, y'all need to go there. Like, it's what you should do. Like, if you're a model, that's what you should do. Just like, you know, if you mention the model or you mention hair, you mention Denver Fashion Week.
Yeah.
You know, even people who don't really do nothing in Denver Fashion Week or don't really have a following mention it just because they walked and it's like, hey, I was in Denver Fashion Week.
Right.
So we want to build that with everything we do. Like, hey, they like fashion, you gotta be in it. If they doing this, you gotta be in it. If we doing festivals, you gotta be in it, which we're finna create. We created one of those too. So we're finna be one of the first urban black companies to have their own festival in Denver. So that's what we've been building now as well. That
Which
we're
is
finna drive.
smart as well, because Summer Jam has been for like how many years? Woo.
Yeah. So the
Needed.
ultimate two goals are those things: the Hair Expo and then the festival that we're doing, because it'll be at Civics in the Park. August 19th and August 20th.
Oh, you got the days and everything.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So that's what we're doing. So right now, besides the fashion show and Rick Ross, those are like the other two outlets.
And they can get to your Instagram, your Facebook, everything from the website.
everything.
So
everything.
if you guys hear
or
that,
you
if
can
you
put
guys
KUSH Alumni in anything, like you
KUSH
can Google
Alumni.
KUSH Alumni.
KUSHALUMNI. You can put it in
so
any
if you guys
want
to get those tickets, that's where
Yes.
you go. You can
Yes.
still get those. Bottle service sold out already, so you can see
Yes.
that this is going to be a popular event.
Yes.
Eric,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
spending,
No
a good
problem.
hour
Thank
with
you.
us, and just kind of letting me know what you do, and but we with curious minds sometimes want to know
Yes.
about some of these
Yes.
things,
Yes.
and
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, it's great.
will you do me a favor and hit that little red button at the top?
The
Not
square.
that one, the other
square.
one.
The
That
square.
one.
Yep.
And now I just need to see you jam out.
Okay, let's go. All right, what?
What? KUSH Alumni. What?
What?
Between the sheets.
Let's
Spend
go.
your money. Yep.
Spend your money.